Hello and welcome to We Got a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We're going to cover it all. My name is Randy.
I'm the Book of Magic Items from Archive 37, Doug.
And I might be a Glorio fan, Ken.
Whoa.
Times they are a-changin'. We are the world's strongest under the heavens trio de dangers here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Doug, how you doing?
Nothing too crazy, just gonna show off a little figure that I got. Went to Japan and picked this bad boy up, then flew right back to America. It's pretty
so
cool,
fast.
pretty worth it. I know, yeah. Well, maybe I had this shipped to me from Japan, but still, got it for cheaper than I would have gotten it buying it here on American eBay. So there's that. And if you don't know, listening, this is the Tamashii Nation store exclusive Super Saiyan Goku, the one where he looks like he does at the end of Chala Hechala. And I love it.
No. Listeners, let me paint you a word picture. Imagine a Goku figure arts, but they made him out of a fruit roll-up.
Yes.
That is what they
You can eat him.
like.
It looks yummy. You can see through his hair and everything. I think if you put like a flashlight, I don't know, whatever. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, honestly, so I don't know what it looks like, but from reviews, it looks pretty cool. And also the better thing is this, whatever this jar is with lunch on it.
A milk glass. Milk jug.
Glass. Okay. I'm calling it jugs or whatever, but I don't know.
Milk bottle.
Bottle. Wow. I didn't think of that word. All right, here we go.
Do you have the corresponding figures to fill out that head Chala ending shot, like with a little Chaozu? And
Come on, Randy. Who are you talking to here, buddy?
The answer is no. They have not released the Gohan from the Android arc yet, so.
He's right. With that long mullet hair, not yet.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are going to be like, oh, but they did the child Gohan. Nope, sorry, shoes are different.
Shoes are different. And he's not height appropriate.
It's just the shoes. Yeah, because he also has the neck, puffy collar
People have
thing.
made customs to make him look like he does in the Broly movie, the first one. As a teenager, as a Super Saiyan, but with the puff around it. It looks pretty cool.
I love that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got to have one where it's, what is it, movie 7, where he's got like a white shirt and suspenders on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're never going to get that figure arts. But Ken, how you doing, man?
So I have been reading a book called Console Wars, and I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it's the story of Sega versus Nintendo in America specifically, at least so far as where I'm at. So Tom Kalinske and his rise into Sega and everything. Mm-hmm. I've heard this story a million times. There's a documentary on Paramount Plus called Console Wars, and they have done an episode on the show called Game Changers on HBO, and Discovery, I think, as well. But this is the story, and it's 20 hours long because I'm doing the audiobook. So it's a huge book, and it's told as a narrative story instead of like just a recounting of events.
Oh, cool.
And so it's really weird, but great. And the guy who reads it is awesome. He does some slightly problematic accents. I don't know. I still think they're serviceable to the story, but I cannot recommend enough. Console Wars, it is awesome.
Oh, you meaning like when he has to talk about or with as a Japanese voice, maybe?
Yes. There are Japanese players in this story, so he has to play as them.
Sega does when Nintendo don't. Am I right?
So speaking of Sega, I have been playing Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yes.
About 12 hours in. This game rules. And I know I've been talking about playing Yakuza Ishin. I have not beaten that yet, but this came out and I had to put everything aside. The great thing about this game is that it resets Majima, right? He's lost his memories, which is good for all of those people who've like only played Yakuza 0, because this is much more of a Yakuza like that game, of a Majima like that game. Because in all the like main Yakuza games, Majima is crazy and not at all like he is in 0, the one that people have come to love. So this kind of like resets him a bit, but it doesn't like push out people who've played all these games, because there are a ton of deep cuts to past games in here that people who only play Yakuza 0 are not going to get, and it will just fly right over their heads.
Man, that's what I love about Yakuza games. Even as someone who's only played 1 or Kiwami and 0, Summer 0, like I love that the game developers put that much love and effort into this like long story.
I think this is the 13th canonical title in the series, not counting the PSP games.
Including
course,
PSP? Oh.
not including
Okay.
those. This is the 13th. So you have to play 12 games. And that includes the Judgment games, because those are now starting to be referenced in these ones.
Jeez, it's a lot of homework.
Yakuza.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad that it's super good and worth your time. Because I also like Yakuza. I just haven't found the time to catch up.
One day, Randy, we will.
What
day.
have you been spending your time on, Randy?
Well, I finally finished that there Schitt's Creek. Guys, that's a good show. If you've never seen it, oh, man. And what an ending. Like, I started the show thinking, like, okay, here's a couple of characters that I'm absolutely going to loathe. And then, like, 2 seasons in, I'm like, never mind, would die for these people. They're so good.
Character development. Love that in a series.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very good. So if you haven't seen it, check that out. I also jumped back into watching Digimon because I had picked up that first season from Discotheque and watching it in English. And I have a weird thing. If I'm going to watch or play something from years past, I try to recreate that feeling as much as possible. So
Randy buys his childhood home so he can watch it in the room he grew up in.
Look out, Mom. I'm coming for that house.
Look out, Mom.
But so it'll usually I'll watch or play things in the same season. So Digimon has only been a like late winter, early spring thing because I first got into it that morning on Fox when they're like, we're finally going to reveal who the 8th Digidestined is. And here's a whole bunch of episodes leading up to it. That was my first time actually watching it. And that was in February. So
Do you get that feeling too? Like, I can't imagine like if it was also snowing back then and it happened to snow when you're doing it now, how awesome that would be.
I mean, that's what I did. That's why I started. A friend of mine was watching Digimon, and I looked outside, and I'm like, yeah, today is a Digimon day. So I jumped back into it.
That's great.
And I'm about to that point. Myotismon's happening. They're about to go back to Japan. It's going to be really exciting. So
Myotismon.
Yeah, and then I just got in Season 2, the Japanese version, a couple of days ago. So
nice.
Yeah. No. This is the English one, but I did get the Japanese one in.
Season 2 always gets a lot of flack, but it's got Vmon, so it's already like better.
Right. And Ken.
The fusion between Vmon and the other one, the bug one. It's cool.
A Pyildramon, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the fusion. You're talking about Wormmon, first off.
I can't believe I forgot. Wormmon was his name.
Can't forget.
Well, the one that looks like a worm.
Yeah, that's the one. One last thing is that totally slipped my mind. I had seen it in my calendar like 2 days later. Back on February 17th was our 4th anniversary for the show. So, whoops. We didn't celebrate that or the 100th episode. So,
we're not big celebrators here.
Yeah. So, Doug, congratulations. Ken, you'll catch up one of these days. And,
hey, to you too, Randy.
How it works.
You'll catch up. Welcome to episode 537. Ken, congratulations on your 25th episode.
That is not how it works, no. But hey, I mean, we've been doing it for a while, and it's great, and I still love it, and I still love you guys, and I don't want to stab either one of you.
Wait, what? Whatever. I'm so glad that like we're doing this, that we've stuck around to do this. This is like the most consecutive thing I've ever done in my life besides breathe air and go to work. But yeah.
I would say, and by figures, but you weren't doing that when we started
exactly.
the show.
It's not consistent. Yeah.
And you have been doing this podcast longer than you've been in your current job.
What? Have I? Oh my God. I forgot there's actually lore within all these podcasts.
Life happens and continues. Life and lore. But anyway, that's everything that I wanted to talk about. So that's cool. We'll celebrate at some point. But right now, we've still got to keep that Daima train running. And we got to do episodes 18 and 19. You know what Daima is. It's the new show. It's been running since October. It takes place after the Boo fight. And Ken's going to give you a recap on what's been happening so far.
Last time on Dragon Ball Daima, brushing aside the military police, Goku and the others storm Gomah's castle and make quick work of Degasu. But while Degasu's ambitions are cut short, Gomah's bear fruit in the form of the Third Eye. As our main characters encounter Goku for the first time, they find that their tiff is only temporary as Gomah's terror materializes. With a combined assault proving to not be enough, is Goku's Super Saiyan 3 the solution needed to save this Daima wonderland?
Ooh.
As our main characters meet Goku.
We've been over this.
Yeah, I know, I love it.
They're the main characters. All right. So 18 and 19, guys, we got to do a temperature check. Doug, how you feeling about these two?
Beautiful to look at, no substance whatsoever. I'm glad. I'm glad we all get our moments, but yeah, it's definitely stuff happens.
Stuff does happen. Things move and change.
I can cross figures off my list, so yeah.
Ken, what are your thoughts?
I think these 2 episodes are the 2 best episodes of this show.
Like not a high bar, or what do you mean?
First of all, so I think 18 Awakening is an 8 out of 10. It's got its issues, whatever. 19 in Daima terms is as good as the show can get. Now,
that's saying much.
I know. And so I also have to further put qualifications on this, and that we have to ignore the first 17 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Because the way Glorio is in the show is as if he time shifted over from the Berenstein universe.
Yeah.
And he's from a different show.
He's playing as if they did set him up correctly.
Right. Yeah, this show is acting. Okay, so when you have a fanfic or you're coming up with a story, a fictional story for yourself.
That was a big nod from Randy, yeah.
You think at the beginning, and then you think of a couple things there, and then you really overthink the ending. So you've thought out the beginning and the ending. That's Daima in a nutshell. They've thought out the beginning, they thought out the ending, and they just did not give a damn how we got from point to point.
Yeah,
and so now that we're at the end, where they've kind of done all the homework, I'm really enjoying this part of it. There are obviously still issues we're going to get into, and I might even sound like I didn't enjoy these episodes as we go through. But dear listener, know that I did.
Cool. Exactly. Ken just loves this franchise so much that he has nothing he can do but be critical, because he wants the thing he loves to be the best thing it can be.
Exactly.
I respect that.
And not have Yuko Kakihara work on the show again.
Ever again, please. Please. Anyway, they're okay. I guess I can understand these are the best of what Daima has to offer, but it is just a lot of punching and screaming and things, which I do like, but there needs to be a little more.
Where has it been all this show?
Yeah, true.
They gave us, one scoop of it in episode 8 against Tamagami number 3, and I don't know, some for Tamagami 2/1, because there was 2 fights going on at the same time, but yeah,
because I love when Dragon Ball can be not about fighting, and it can be enjoyable just in a wonderland, like in OG Dragon Ball for the most part, and in the Namek arc, but this didn't deliver on that aspect at all to earn these nice fight scenes.
Everything is unearned.
Yeah, there's more than just the fights, but we could get into it, and I suppose maybe we should, and we're going to start, of course, with episode 18, because that's how the order of things goes.
Yeah,
right?
The best Shinzo Negan.
So, episode 18, Awakening. The Super Saiyan 3 duo of Goku and Do take on the superpowered King Gomah, though Do runs out of gas all too soon. It turns out Gomah is just too much for just one puny primate boy, but Goku is gifted some mystical power by way of Neva, pushing him beyond his limits to the awesome Super Saiyan 4. Goku treats Gomah to some of his own medicine before the maniac magician gains the upper hand again, reverting Goku back to his base form. Arensu sees no other option, then orders Glorio to take the Dragon Balls and make her wish here and now.
Weird opening to this episode, with them just picking a part out of the last episode of Gomah being like, "Hey, I'm Gomah!" And then it goes straight to Goku powering up to Super Saiyan 3.
Oh, yeah.
It, feels kind of like they just had this was going to be a movie, and they've cut it up into episodes, but they didn't really work too hard at that.
Yeah, it really is just your friend telling you, hey, you should watch Daima, but just these episodes, 18 and 19 and 20. So I'm Gomah, and this is Super Saiyan 3.
I still feel like if anyone's like, hey, should I watch Daima? I'll be like, no, but maybe check out the last 4 episodes.
Yep, that's exactly how these read.
I mean, it's only 20 episodes. You could just put it on in the background and binge it and, pay attention when you start to hear some screaming and some things that sound cool.
Yeah, I don't know. You look up every so often and go, nothing's happening, huh?
Yeah, I guess this would be a good reason to watch the dub, so you can do that, just in the background. Is something plot happening or no?
Right.
Are these bugs going to come into play? No? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Gomah looks at Goku powering up to Super Saiyan 3, and he says, more of that funny magic.
I like that line.
It feels every time they've done this, like we're going to get to something where like some real magic is going to take place, or like Goku and company are going to discover that they can do more with their ki or something, but never happens. At least that's what it feels like it's been building up to me.
That line, I'm so mad that it could be a setup for in episode 19, but it doesn't. Like Goku in 19, like he going through the forms. I know we'll get to it, but just quickly while I'm thinking of this line, Gomah could have said something like, "What is with that funky form of your long hair? Oh, you want to know what happens?" And then like Goku like then has a reason to explain. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Other than just a throwback, but
yeah.
So yeah, he's Super Saiyan 3. I really like the like slow-mo moving forward and then suddenly zip right into his face.
Yeah.
It's like, oh dang.
Wasn't
like,
that a reference
to
Majin when he first did it to Majin Buu, the Fat Buu? He did a slow-mo like that too. It could be against Kid Buu, but it definitely is a reference.
I was trying to remember if it was that or if it was movie 12 or something like that.
I just love the way it's drawn.
Yeah.
I really I never thought I would enjoy Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku so much, but I really like the way he's drawn here. True. Sorry. Randy's pointing at one that he has in his possession. There is a shot, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but there is a shot that they keep using, and they've been using it for like the past 2 episodes, and they use it at least 3 or 4 times in these 2 episodes of Kadan's army. And they're just in the exact same positions.
Just like, whoa.
Facing the exact same way. It's framed the exact same.
You got to find your ways to cheat around the system, and that I'm okay with in that instance. We don't need to see multi-angles of Kadan's army.
I mean, it would be nice for anybody to be commenting on the fight to be somebody who's never seen any of this stuff before, you know, to be like, what?
Yeah.
Blonde hair now? Like, nobody reacts to this stuff, and it would be nice if they, you know, had a little something back and forth, or if it was Ku and Do, but like Kadan and his army, like, you made the hot sword lady, have her say something, you know?
Yeah.
Just thoughts.
So Do is amped up. He's seeing Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's like, dude, I got to do this. And the Tamagami also joins the fight, and it is cookie time. So Randy, you thought it was going to be a chocolate bar? No, dude. Giant cookie.
I like cookies.
I recently rewatched that episode where they went shopping with the Rangers, whatever the heck they were.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he eats that candy bar right away. So like he hasn't been sitting on that. I'm just dumb. I totally missed that.
Yeah, it's been gone for ages. Just like if I bought a chocolate bar then.
Yeah, but he got a cookie though, and that's gonna do it. Just the funny thing of like looking at Goku and seeing, oh, he's strong with long hair. Like, is it a thing like now I'm going to do it too? Or is it like the cookie actually gave him power and that's what his body does do? Like, no.
No, it's a classic Toriyama gag.
Yeah. I like that maybe because, you know, Do is just new to this world. He never thought about powering up before. So he sees Goku, like, not even just transforming, but just the instance of like yelling and like focusing. And he's learning like while watching him do this, and also does it. And then, yeah, his hair comes out like Super Saiyan 3. I'm like, thanks, but I hate it. Thanks.
It's a great moment, yet again underscored by terrible music choice.
Yeah.
And it's just like this soft, kind of like silly, I don't even know, like festive theme they play for him.
Mm-hmm. You mean it's not the same 2 tracks that we have for the entire series?
They've only played this one, I think, twice or something. Oh, dude. Oh, it's Omen of Victory vibes. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Because that song is coming up in a second.
Mm-hmm.
He does his whole fight thing and does not last long. So very Super Saiyan 3-ish, you know?
Yeah. He burned through that very quickly, yeah.
But, you know, I like Do does this, and it doesn't even phase Goku. Goku's just all right, let's go. Let's do it.
I got a buddy to help out.
Ikuzo, I mean, like, not just here I come, but it can also mean, like, let's go. Like,
Ikuzo is let's go.
Yeah, so, like, subtitles did, like, here I come, but, yeah, it could be, like, let's do this. Let's go.
All right. They're just 2 buddies working together for
friends forever.
15 seconds. Their battles in battle.
What does Do say exactly when his energy runs out? He's like, the cookie energy is gone, and then but you hear Ariansu go, eh. I love it.
She's just does not understand how her own creations work, or you know, it's just obviously just a comedic thing of just, what? That's such a strange thing. I love them.
We're introduced to the idea now that if they are able to overpower Gomah, which will happen many times, is that his third eye reacts. And like this time, it like laser shoots a bunch of stuff and knocks Goku out.
Cool looking laser.
Yeah. Oh, very well animated. All the times Gomah is brought back from the brink are all very well animated. The many times it happens. And he's like, hey, I'm going to use Frieza's Death Ball on Goku. Looks cool.
Does look cool.
Yeah.
Neva shows up, the moment we've all been waiting for, and says, hey, you want Super Saiyan 4?
Yeah. He's to the camera and says, you want Super Saiyan 4, guys? I got you.
Check this out.
Just shoot some blue magic into him.
He summons the life stream.
It's true.
This world's blue life stream.
You do see like,
water
are there supposed to be like his arteries or something when the power is going through him?
Really?
That's what I read it as, but I don't know. It's just a strange visual.
It's a cool transformation, I think.
Yeah. As transformations go, yeah. Very unimpactful, but dang, is it cool and nice to look at. And I hate that that's what, like, I have to tell my friends about. Like, I mean, it's cool. It's like, yeah, see, it's cool. Like, yeah, but it should have substance to it. It should have meaning. That's not why you love Dragon Ball in the first place.
Yeah, that's why when I'm saying, like, these are the two best episodes, it's with the caveat of pretend somewhere along the way this was all earned and set up.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then yes, these in a bubble of Daima that doesn't exist are like the best episodes.
If we just got throughout the series of like, what if the demons had demon forms and some of them could tap into it, and then Neva's like, you could just go write it off. It's like, yeah, Neva just tapped into Goku's demon form and awoken it or whatever. But no, it's just Super Saiyan 4.
Where is that? Where is addressing Ozaru? Why does Super Saiyan 4, this Super Saiyan 4, have a tail?
Why?
Other than to just be a callback to be like, hey, you guys have been around before. You know that this thing exists in a
all
different
they had to
series.
do was give this form pointy ears. That's all they had to do to differentiate it. They've already given big hands. Just give them the pointy ears.
Well, I don't necessarily mind it looking so similar. That's not my problem here. It's just I'm thinking about like the narrative purpose of him having a tail. In GT, let's walk back.
That's what I mean.
Remember,
pointy ears. So that is a demon.
Elder Kaioshin said, like, hey, we need to pull your tail out so you can get your full power. At that point, they're not even talking about Super Saiyan 4. And so Goku gets his full power because they pull his tail out. Then a series of events happen in which he becomes Golden Ozaru and then forms back down to Super Saiyan 4. So he doesn't just suddenly have a tail, right? This tail is all part of the events that have been leading up to this. And it's like, I hate to praise GT in this way, but they set it up.
Totally way better.
This is just like, hey, you know that thing that people get really up in the air about? Is it canon? Is it not? Is it like, let's just give it to you in a new format.
Which I honestly didn't know that there was such a huge like thing in the fan base. Like, is this canon or not? I honestly couldn't give a flying F about that, but apparently everyone does. I'm seeing posts of like, look at all the canon haters now, like blah blah blah. I'm like, what is this?
People are strange.
Worrying about timelines, worrying about anything else. And for the audio listeners, worrying about timelines is way up here.
This is way up here.
Anything else?
His hands are off the screen right now.
Yeah. That's my priorities.
Let's just play a little devil's advocate here. Well, what's the significance? Why does he have a tail? I mean, why does Super Saiyan 3 not have eyebrows? Doesn't matter. It's just a body change, you know?
Yes, but in knowing how the tail was set up in the other version, I can't, you have to, there's no other version of Super Saiyan 3.
And also, he's had a tail as a kid, so it makes sense. Goku's not had eyebrows since he was like a day.
You could have just given him a tail when he got turned into a kid.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Well, I think that might have ruined the surprise. Everyone would have... No, maybe not. No, because it is just the kid, Goku, with the tail.
People were already expecting Super Saiyan 4.
That's true.
I think from the day we knew they were getting turned into kids, people were like, oh, okay, well, we're going to get GT. This is GT again.
Yeah.
And then for a while, we're like, maybe this isn't GT again. And then it's like, no, it's GT again.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of how the form looks? How do you like it?
It definitely grew on me. Like when I first saw it, I was like, ew, I wish he had a belt or anything instead of just, it just looks like his sweatpants or whatever. But
I think we need to come clean about something. We have all known that this was coming for a while. Doug and I have known what it's looked like for a while.
I didn't.
Yeah, Randy closed his eyes.
I
didn't want to see it.
Doug and I have been able to sit with this and like learn to love it more. So Randy, where are you at with it?
From the get-go, I liked it. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 has always been top tier for me just because it's so different looking. So this takes that, uses a lot of the same look. I mean, it changes the color scheme because now it's like a fuchsia or red sort of look to things. He's got bigger arms.
Yeah.
I like the bigger arms. I mean, it gives him the physicality more of like a monkey, but I don't know how this ties into the demon world. I wish that it had more of that, but pure looks, I like it. I've already like doodled one Super Saiyan 4 little Goku. He's good. He's cute. I like it. So I'm on board with it. Yeah, me too. It kind of calls forth like God form sort of thing. It's not as vibrant of a color, but that's how it is. I'm excited for it to be added to Sparking Zero so I can play it and look at it in HD 4K 60 frames per second.
And play as it in Kakarot at some point.
That's true, yeah. We're getting that for DLC. I'm excited
Does
to
that
do
mean
that too.
The fusion of Goku and Vegeta as Super Saiyan 4 and Daima will be blue hair? Makes you think.
Makes you think, yeah.
I'm curious about who designed it. Was this Toriyama or was this Nakatsuru?
Speak up.
Well, I mean, I have no complaints about it. I think it's a perfectly cromulent Super Saiyan 4 look for an alternate take on it, especially after in Heroes and in Dokkan and stuff, we got that Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4, which also has the kind of like magenta aura hair over it.
Oh,
so we've been able to live with this kind of idea for a while.
Yeah,
I'm just curious about, was this Toriyama taking from Nakatsuru's GT work, or was this Nakatsuru refreshing his own stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. And who knows, by the time this episode drops, maybe the listeners are like, we know who did it. I'm sorry. That's just the limit of this show where we record it every 2 weeks and then put the episode out. And you already know how Daima ends.
Still comment that and let us know.
Yeah, there's like a lot of Toriyama stuff coming fast and loose at us right now. There's that big interview with Yoku, and then there was like some radio interview that like God knows when Kanzenchu is going to get around to translating that whole like. I've seen some stuff coming out about it, and I'm like, I don't know how much stock to put in this because I just cannot trust the Dragon Ball translation community out of like 5 people.
Yeah.
So really just, I'm like keeping that at arm's length. I'm like, okay, maybe someday I'll trust what I'm hearing here, but I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot coming out, and even in the week before this comes out, who knows what else will have been said. Obviously, the final episode will have come out, and so everyone will know for sure how it all ended. If the fusion bugs got used, or if truly they were symptomatic of Daima all along.
Or if they even just say the name of the form in the show, because they haven't said it in the couple of times they've had the opportunity to.
Right.
They've just left it as is, and then it was like, oh, here's a Tamashii Nations, here's the figure. It's called Super Saiyan 4
Merchandise
Goku. Like,
has
all right.
it, but
I mean, it makes sense with episode 19 why it would be called that, but at the same time, like, just say it.
Neva's got a lot of explaining to do in episode 20. That's all I gotta say.
No, he could just keep his mouth shut. We don't need it. If he opens it up, he's gonna make things worse.
That's true. It's true. If he can fix it, then open, but not.
He'll just give him a wink.
Oh no! Didn't he do that again this episode?
He did.
Or the episode?
Next episode, yeah.
It's like, dang
but it wasn't like the whole body.
Yeah, it wasn't the, hey, what's up? Back alley, you and me.
So we get Super Saiyan 4, and then baby Dende looks over like, huh? Oh,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's a great reaction from little Dende.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a power that has been, as best as we can tell, gifted to Goku. Goku doesn't really have any qualms about using it.
A la Super Saiyan God.
Super Saiyan God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that, but it was very quick. I don't know. That's why Neva has so much explaining. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just awakened what Goku already had, and so he didn't have any qualms. But I see what you mean. Like, Goku should have a qualm or an outspoken qualm about this. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if it's that, like, you could maybe reason it away that, like, Goku is not okay with it when the stakes really, they said the stakes were high in Battle of Gods, but they really weren't.
Right.
Here, really, it's also kind of not. So, I mean, who knows? I don't know.
No, he already gave off that impression because he said everyone should team up against Gomah before all this. So, like, you get that Goku's in the headspace of, no, this is serious business.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
A lot of Captain America references here.
Whatever it takes.
I love the fighting between this, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's whatever, but Goku really moving and emoting like a monkey as he like catches himself on a rock and he swings around it, and then he comes and he's like running on all fours briefly, and he does this thing where he like has this ball that he's holding, and then he like spins himself in like a little Sonic the Hedgehog ball.
He lets go of it. I'm like,
pops out of it and throws it.
Did you have a reaction like that to that? I was like, why? That's just fanfare now.
Just cool flair, yeah.
Yeah, just we get a special move like that in a video game now.
That's what it is.
He does the thing where he like rides on the rock as he has an attack in hand, which was cool in Super when he did it to Kefla. But they have since done it again in Daima, and now they're doing it a third time. It's like, okay, it becomes less cool every time he does it. But it's still cool. It's still cool.
Yeah,
it's just less cool. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Less special.
There's another shot that Goku does with like that reminded me of the shot when he killed the ice dragon in GT, where he, like, his chest is puffed out and he goes for that finishing blow to punch him on the ground with the dragon. For an instance, I think there's a shot. I don't know if you guys saw that too, but it looked just like that, just like him backing up with his chest up in the air and then coming in for a punch. It was like, that scene in GT lives in my mind rent free because it was the only clip on Kazaa that I downloaded for 10 seconds.
Right. Oh, those things that are burned into our brains.
Yeah.
This is the moment where we switch Glorios. The Glorio that we were with for the whole rest of the series, he's gone. And we have new Glorio 2.0, who is a real character. And he decides he's going to get up and go help because Super Saiyan 4 Goku, despite all of this, is still just, they cannot overcome.
I love all the flashbacks, and there's no flashbacks to take back from of like our journey together as friends. It's like it's them on the plant riding through the sky, and then it's just them in the plane. And
well, that one comes later.
But I'm thinking of that. There's no flashbacks.
Yeah. So then they do a big team attack. Glorio powers up for the first time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like
they all learn it from Goku. They're like, I can do this. This is a thing that we can focus our energy.
This is magic we can use. And then Pansy's like, guys, remember I can levitate. That's never going to come up again.
That's how they're going to get the bugs back. She's going to notice they fell over and then just and force grab them.
Randy, that would be good writing.
I think you're right. What am I thinking?
Because that's two Chekhov's guns, Randy. You think they're both going to fire? In Daima?
Probably not.
Goku's Kamehameha is cool. Him like starting it, then getting knocked out, and then just picking it back up and being like, you know what? I'm firing this.
The third time I watched this episode, I don't know why I didn't realize I watched it 3 times. I had once in the ways we watched this. This is my first time watching it, or I guess second time watching it live without any subtitles. And gotta tell you, you're not surprised. I didn't need them. Nothing worth came out of these people's mouths. But yeah.
Real quick, Doug, it's a better experience, isn't it, with the commercials?
It is. Oh my God, but the commercials are so much better. Oh, it really gives you that sense of like something fun to watch instead of when Daima's on. I watch for the commercials. You get the commercial break to kind of just like decompress a little bit. That's true. Yeah. So I really enjoyed watching it live for that reason alone. But by the third time I saw, the first and second time I saw this episode, his Kamehameha specifically, I was so disappointed that he didn't just pick up again with meh. But like he starts over again with the ka. Like I was like, but by the third time I'm like, no, okay, we got to accept that Goku actually did get blindsided by this and is like, no, I'm doing this. You know, and I kind of enjoyed it then, but I wish he just picked it up again with a meh.
I'm still in the camp of, he should have just continued from where he was rather than starting it over. Because
Yeah.
this was also my third time watching the episode because I watched it once it hit streaming, and then I randomly watched it a second time just a couple of days later. I'm like, that was a really cool transformation. Let me just check that out again.
I did that. I was like, let me show my friend, let me show my roommate this episode alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to express this truly, but these fights are boring. And it's well animated and lots of action, but it's just Gomah getting hit, and then his eye goes brrr, and then he comes back. And then he gets hit, brrr, and comes back.
Gomah's nothing but a punching bag in this. It's not. He's a nothing character.
Yeah, I would agree.
And so with Goku's Kamehameha here, and then what Vegeta does in the next episode, if Gomah didn't have the third eye, he would just like straight up be dead, right?
Super dead.
Yeah.
Like they are rebuilding his body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Into Kaiju Gomah.
I thought it was Kaiju Gomah, but maybe it was just the perception of the camera angle made him seem taller than he was. Because I thought he was going to be as tall as Porunga, but no, he's just still a little puny comparatively.
This show has ruined Gomah. He sucks.
Yeah.
This is like Jiren territory of just boring. This is not the Gomah from the first 16 episodes of this show.
It's Batman Arkham Asylum, but for Gomah. So if you haven't played that, the Joker becomes not the Joker, and it's stupid.
Yeah, I wish they did more with Gomah before he got the third eye, like to do something with it with himself alone, but he's no threat. It's literally just you're fighting the third eye at this point, and that's it. Anything could have been a vessel for the third eye.
Where we're at now with them fighting Gomah at all, it has never been a question of power. They have always been able to overpower him. This is just a stamina battle, which I guess is not really something Dragon Ball has done before.
The Jinzo Ningen.
With the 118 fight, but even then...
Tournament of Power.
Yeah. What about the Tournament of Power?
Well, it's like 48 minutes long, so they're like, we can't just go straight to our strongest forms and take everybody out because we can't sustain it that long, so we need to ration it out so that way we're not exhausted by minute 5, because this thing's supposed to take a while.
What I'm saying here is that they have always been they have been stronger than any character in the show, like basically the whole time. And so there's no stakes. And even here with the big bad final boss in both of these episodes, at all forms, even when Gomah goes bigger, they are always able to overpower him.
Yeah. Well, it's the Dragon Ball conundrum, right? Where our characters are super strong now that you have to give them some kind of handicap to be able to fight any foe. Right. Any kind of playing field.
But still, there are better ways to do this.
Yeah.
But
I just don't trust this team to be creative enough to do anything like that.
At least we don't just persevere and keep this going, because I believe it's at this point that Gomah is like, okay, I've had enough of this, and does his little magic thing to Goku.
So is the shirt magic or is it not?
Right. Because he doesn't have a shirt anymore. And then he gets in the bubble and he gets transformed back to Super Saiyan 3, and now he's got his shirt back. And it's completely intact. It's not torn frayed like it was before. And then, down to 2 and then 1 and
you're
then
right.
base.
I thought the shirt got repaired during the wish, but no, it did get repaired during That's so dumb. Because then it comes into question again when he does it in the next episode. That's so weird.
My thought was like, oh, is it time? Is time getting reversed? But his Nuebo doesn't come back, which I guess maybe like, would it just summon it? Would it make a new one? But, then if that's true, then episode 19 would make no sense for him to be able to do what he does if time went back and he no longer has these forms anymore.
Maybe it's just the Gomah's like, I'm reverting you back to what I envisioned you at, or what I saw you as before. So he doesn't know what Kid Goku looks like without a shirt. So he just brought him back to with a shirt.
This is what my figure looks like. So let me just make you back the way you were.
Some kind of magic. Yeah.
It's just convenient.
Yeah.
So that way he can pull it off very coolly in the next episode.
Yeah, that's really the only reason, right? Because GT had Goku shirtless as a kid for a while at the end.
And there was many fights where his shirt is torn to pieces or just gone for many, many episodes. So it's like, it wouldn't be weird for him to become an adult and then be like, well, my clothes are torn to crap because I was in a fight. So yeah.
Time to use the Dragon Balls at long last.
Yes. So I really like this whole thing where Glorio's like phone rings, and I had this thing in my mind of like, oh, is this like some sort of hypnotism thing? Because like his demeanor changes and he just like answers it super calm and cool, like, yeah, it's me, Glorio. And she's like, I need you to get the Dragon Balls. And then we have a very strange first person shot of him like walking towards Ibis, like, oh, this is like some really messed up sort of feeling stuff. But then it's like, no, it was just
dude,
artistic.
That could explain a lot of his lack of character. Like if he's just been mind controlled and like kind of buzzed out. That's why he has no character, because he's like buzzed out during mind control, and then he has a flashback, so and it snaps him out of it. But that's not the read of what happens here.
No, that's giving Daima a lot of credit. He didn't earn.
So Glorio can speak Namekian. Fine, no problems with that.
Okay. I went back and I watched whatever was it, episode 14 or whatever, where Neva undoes the shield. Glorio is in the plane, but he can like, the door is open. He'd be able to like hear this, but he just like looks and has it, and it happens. He just goes, oh, like if he was like heard it, like what, like could hear Neva like doing this enchantment. Like I know how that language,
like I recognize that,
right? But he's like shocked that the shield's gone. It's like, you heard him. That's what he said he was gonna do. So like it would have been a great moment.
Why? Yeah,
but no.
This is where we get Glorio's extended flashback sequence, which
all those memories.
This Glorio from a different universe that has somehow invaded this show. I'll buy it. Yeah, sure. These are all cool. I'm in it.
Ken,
I like this Glorio.
As we're watching this live, Ken messages me saying, Glorio thinks it's a character now. Look at him.
Yeah, true.
Look at Glorio. He thinks he's a character.
I do like that it kind of plays with our, not like the audience not knowing any like real words in Namekian. Like some things we've heard before. Porunga, like, all right, yeah, that's the dragon. That makes sense. But he does the wish, and then like the episode ends. And it's like, oh, what was the wish? I was sitting there.
My eyes rolled so hard.
I had two thoughts. One was like, can't believe that the Galactic Patrol HQ, like everybody's going to break out of there now. That's so wild. Or I think I was sitting there and I went, panties. Like that would have been so
if
good.
Glorio has like a dirty side to him that's just like so super selfish.
Yeah.
I rolled my eyes so hard. I'm like, oh, I wonder what he wished for. What a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it seemed insanely obvious that it was to wish everyone undo the wish.
Yeah.
Now, we just totally skipped over Red Porunga, the only dragon in the franchise to not receive a bespoke design.
Or what?
Thank you, Daima. Thank you for that.
Because Shenlong has his look, Porunga has his look, but like ultimate red, like Shenlong is still Shenlong. He's red,
different.
So what?
Head's different.
He's got like the horns
design.
are on his head are like a lot different, but not that much different.
Black Smoke Dragon's different. Super Shenlong is different. Torunbo, Doug, who you'll meet soon, is different.
Oh no!
And then the Dark Demon World dragon is different as well. So we've had 7 different dragons, and then of course Daima comes along. Daima, king of planning things out. You know, let's do things right. Let's just copy paste. Change the hue.
Hey, they already have the mold for the big Porunga Ichiban Kuji and SH Figure Arts.
Yeah.
Just color it red this time.
Honestly, that's probably it, Doug.
Yeah,
I know it is. There's a pre-order for it that's been blank for months now, and now I know it's that. That's the figure.
Is there anything else about this episode you guys want to talk about? Because I had said I was going to start a 20-minute timer, and I opened up a tab, but I never actually clicked it. So we are definitely past our time.
Yeah, the final thing Glorio says is child up, basically.
Child pop.
Child uppo, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, child up.
Ni papon, no papapon.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
no, I'm done. Like I said, I enjoy these episodes. I'm going to be hypercritical of them, and it's going to sound like I'm not. So let's get into the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I saw it 3 times, so that should say something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm clicking the button now. So here we go. We're going to do episode 19, Betrayal. Glorio has made the wish, but suddenly Goku, Piccolo, and all our other mortal world friends start to shine and grow back to their full adult selves. Even as grown-ups, they can't defeat Gomah with force alone. Piccolo and Goku make a plan to relieve the Demon King of his third eye so they can take him down for good. Goku steps up and demonstrates all his transformations, but there's one more. Goku can transform into Super Saiyan 4 at will, but will their plan work so they can put an end to Gomah's reign once and for all? There's a lot of stuff that skip over here.
While you were reading that, I was speaking with my lawyer. Did you hit the button on the timer before you went into the episode summary?
Yeah.
Okay, no. that shouldn't count against our
You got to restart
time.
that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's
All
not
right.
conversation. That's build-up.
Fine. Your time is back on the clock, lawyer. And I would like you to not bring your lawyer into these recordings any further, Ken.
All right.
I was wondering if
Off
Ken
the
was
clock.
actually talking to someone or if he was...
It's his
Like, I'm
dog.
pretty sure that's just a wall
In a
he's pointing
tie.
at. No one can come in through that side of his room.
Randy, you were reading, but what I was doing was emoting to imaginary person over here.
Uh-huh. He was like,
Conversing with
okay.
them about
he said, no, I'll talk to him.
who could have foreseen that they'd become adults again.
Whoa.
Wild.
Never in my wildest dreams. Dang.
I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping we would keep the new cast for whatever reason, just because, like, it'll hurt less when, life continues to go on outside of this show and we have to say goodbye to actors from these roles.
I'm surprised that they didn't, but we now have a Shaggy situation where, for those of you
Wasn't
who
me.
don't know, the original actor for Shaggy was, what's his name? You guys know?
Casey Kasem?
Casey Kasem. And then Matthew Lillard played Shaggy in the live action movies. And then after Casey Kasem died and could no longer, do the role, Matthew Lillard began doing Shaggy. And it was
I
just
didn't know that.
picking it back up. Yeah.
Interesting.
So now we already have our successors picked up. So that makes sense.
But
Wait,
man,
what are you talking about? Who, what?
the kid actors.
Yeah.
So the idea is that if Horikawa ever passes away,
If.
then Horikawa Jr. McGee will come in and play Vegeta. Because
But isn't he just
he's
voicing
already
kid Vegeta? What do you, it's,
well, yeah, he just needs to play it at a lower register, and then
Yeah.
oh, okay. I guess so, yeah.
Goku's got different boots. Did you guys notice this?
No, what?
I
He's
didn't
got-
notice, no.
His Battle of Gods boots, the ones that Toriyama designed, where it's red on red.
Uh-huh.
And no, when he got turned into a kid in episode 1, he moved to the boots that he has through most of the series. And then when those ones. And when he becomes an adult, he gets more boots that look more like his classic Z boots.
Yeah,
Which is
you're
like, oh,
right. Now that I'm picturing it.
We
Yeah.
haven't. I don't even remember. Daima started so long ago now. If we talked about it or not, but some of the characters at the party just got shrunk down, and some of them got like new outfits.
Oh, yeah?
Like
Right.
Yumao is now like wearing a design that looks like he would have. No way was he wearing it at that dinner party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The
Well-
babies get like baby outfits.
Yeah, you could just chalk it up to magic, just because at least something you could chalk up to magic in this series, besides the Wonderland.
But why these boots? Why? What's the, like, it comes to the tale in Super Saiyan 4. What is the narrative purpose? Why did these boots change? And then is it like an incident with Trunks in Super again, where Toriyama drew a design that had blue hair and nobody called him on it and just left it as is?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe they left it for us to talk about it. They
Oh, yeah.
God knows that they don't care, but they know that we'll like talk about it and converse about it if they discover, if they never even realized.
Here's the question. Well, I guess we already have the photos. What kind of boots is he wearing in the SH Figure Arts for adult Daima Goku?
Yeah, we have that. You want me to pull it
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, it's the Z, but red on red.
Oh, so
So
he
in
knew
the-
it was coming.
In Toriyama's like Battle of Gods art sheet that he did, he gave Goku those red on red boots, which in the movie proper we only see when he is Super Saiyan God.
Mhm.
And he also drew Kaioshin, not Kibito Kaioshin, in that image. So you could technically say that image is canon to Daima, if you want.
If you want.
I do want.
Anyway,
But having all the actors back, Randy, having all the actors back makes this show feel so much less alien to me.
Yeah.
To have Horikawa back, even though he just came off of a smoking bender. And to have Furukawa back, it's like, oh, thank you.
Like, as much as I love Kid Goku, seeing adult Goku just felt so nice and comforting again. Especially just considering after Ken like made me realize like, oh yeah, Goku had this like character development growth that where he's a different kind of Goku than we think of in the Buu saga. Like he's a more mature and more strategic kind of character. Seeing Goku with his arms crossed was such a weird and nice feeling. It's like, oh, this is a Goku that's here like to think and strategize. Like I don't know, something about his crossed arms just looks so nice.
In this episode, we get Goku's inner monologue, which is a rare thing. I'm not sure. I think the first time might be during King Piccolo, but I know like the first time I'm sure he did it was when he finds out that he's the one who killed his grandfather as an Ozaru. He has like a moment of reflection about that. And then I think maybe again in the Buu arc when he's trying to decide like who he's going to fuse with, and he's imagining like.
Also, he in his mind he's like, "That's Vegeta's technique." That's in his mind.
So it's very rare to have inner monologue for Goku. Like if you go back through Dragon Ball, it's everywhere for Vegeta, but almost never for Goku.
When did he do it here in this episode?
Right before he's about to get into his Buu arc moment, where he is going to go through all the steps of Super Saiyan. He's inner monologuing, and then he looks down at Piccolo, and Piccolo nods at him.
Well, we don't have it very often because he keeps his head empty, so he's got room for dreams.
Yeah, but he's an old man. You don't need a dream anymore. I say he's an old man, but by this point in the story, he's like a few years older than we are.
I don't like that. Yeah. Continue talking about something else, please.
He's like 38, I think.
Unsubscribe.
He's thriving.
Pansy,
what am I
Pansy
doing?
holding Dende. Come on.
That's good.
That's good stuff.
Good. And immediately dropping him like, what? What?
And guess what? Kadan Army shot again. Here we go, boys. Oh! It's the same shot.
The same shot.
They're still there.
These are going to be our Demon Kings rulers after this.
It's like, I don't know if I could verify this, but it's almost like it wasn't in the storyboards, but when they were editing, they were like, we gotta show what they're reacting to, and so they just copy paste from a previous episode. We forgot to get the coverage. Yeah.
The coverage.
So the split second of them thinking Glorio betrayed them has passed. Again, remember, it's like 30 seconds where they think he might have betrayed them. I just really think about that. They see him with Arinsu, and they're like, oh no, he was working with Arinsu, and Vegeta calls him a traitor. And then like right away, he makes the wish to turn him into kids, or into adults.
Well, they can intuit, oh, now we're adults, and the dragon just did a thing. I bet something happened, and I doubt Arinsu did it of her own accord. So
right. So, but I just want you to think, this whole series, Kaioshin was he was suspicious of Glorio early on, but then he seemed like he just let it go.
Yeah.
And then we get this moment where he's like, oh, he was working with Arinsu, and then it's like 30 seconds later, it's like, oh no, you made the wish to be adults, so you weren't? So it's, the way these characters think is that the episode's called Betrayal, and really the betrayal is betraying Arinsu, because there's no way these characters, for any meaningful amount of time, thought that Glorio betrayed them.
Right.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what when I read into it, when they're like, the next episode is called Betrayal, like, well, he's obviously going to betray Arinsu. Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
Which I really liked the moment of, him being like, okay, now I got to face up to Arinsu, who wanted me to do this. And she's just like, after I saved you from the third demon world. Nope. You're fired. Go.
Nope. Okay. Lore problems. Who was the first Majin she made? And why did they bring it up if to not be Glorio? He's just some random guy that she saved. And we've gone, remember, 17 episodes of like nothing about Glorio. Nothing character.
Nothing.
They could have talked about this.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that would have been good for why he's playing along with her plan.
Mm-hmm. No. She's like, remember that girlfriend you had that was going to die, but I brought her back to life? If you said you'd work for me? Tough luck, Hercules.
Doug, now I feel like I have to buy the Glorio figure arts, but in my mind, it's going to be 18, 19, and 20 Glorio, not 1 through 17 Glorio.
You have a little sticky note underneath.
He has a little smirk that you draw with the marker.
Don't get it twisted. Yeah. This is not lame Glorio. This is good Glorio.
This is good Glorio.
Good Leo.
I liked it. Good Leo.
It's Glorio. You're gosh dang right.
So Goku says something along the lines of, now that we're adults, we should fight alone.
Yeah, we got this now.
I don't.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? He knows he's stronger.
I guess they don't have a time limit, so it's not like we need to do this before something happens or whatever. It's just like, well,
Yeah, they got
now this is
Dende.
just for fun.
They're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it's like, well, we need to see where we're at fighting this guy now. So let's maybe just one of us go and let's see where we're at.
They've had the experience of being adults and then being kids and like, whoa, I'm this much weaker. I can feel that I'm this much weaker. So once I'm an adult,
I think it's this much weaker.
Or
sorry, I'm thinking their size or whatever. Like,
yeah,
but yeah.
Or is Goku secretly very smart and he's like, now we should fight alone. Obviously that means Vegeta's going to want to do this, which is going to let him distract Gomah so I can talk with Piccolo and be like, how are we doing this, man? Because this hasn't been working.
He did give up his turn pretty quickly. It's like, yeah, Vegeta's like, my turn. I was like, okay.
Sure.
And you see them cross just like with no problem.
What's the reason we got Kaiju Gomah just so that when they got aged up to adults, we just kept the same ratio?
Yeah, that makes sense.
There was no reason they need to be made kids in the first place with this. No story payoff.
Nope, not at all. But as soon as Vegeta went to the battlefield, I said, he's going to turn Super Saiyan 3, so that way they can make a figure and sell that to me too.
How cool would it have been if they gave Vegeta and Piccolo weapons? Because they're just not used to having short limbs. I guess Piccolo could do the stretchy thing. But if they gave Vegeta like a sword, his first time having to use a sword, and because his son in the future has a sword, how cool would that have been? Dumb.
Give him a gun.
But cool.
Yeah, Vegeta's a gun kind of guy to me.
Something different. Something it's just tiny Vegeta. That's it. There's nothing different about it. They just gave him weapons, like, because Goku has his Noibo. It's like, and he said, I need this because I'm a kid or whatever, and not really uses it much, but still, there is that thread of storytelling you could use.
Well, Vegeta's got his technique, so.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, this show should be different. It should have done.
Oh, it definitely should in many ways. But I like that Vegeta is in base form against Gomah, and just like, I can handle you in base form. Like, you can't overpower me in my base form. And
wow.
It's like, well, why doesn't he just go Super Saiyan right from the start? And then immediately Vegeta addresses this and is like, okay, now I'm used to my body. It's like, oh, okay, he was just feeling it out.
Mm-hmm.
We did get another Kadan shot in here, by the way, in case you're keeping count.
I guess it is like a dumb idea. Like, you're going up against someone who has no stamina or has infinite stamina, and then you transform into your form that drains stamina as quickly as it can.
Well, I don't think they don't know if this is something that they can just overpower yet or not. Like, remember Cell could keep regenerating, and so they just had to overpower him enough to destroy all of him.
Yeah.
And so I think that's their mindset right now, even though, yes, this is the kind of stuff that should be spoken aloud by some character watching it happen.
Yeah. But even in the Cell games, Goku's strategy to overcoming these Jinzo Ningen and Cell that have infinite stamina was to master Super Saiyan and keep it at be in that form without draining stamina. Like, that's genius, a parallel between the two. Here, it doesn't really pansy out.
There you go. I like Arinsu just kind of being chill about letting Glorio go.
Yeah. I mean, is it sequentially where she's like, whatever, just go. And then he leaves, and then Ku runs up and is like, I'll always be here with you. And just that smile, like, yes, that's what I needed. That's fantastic. Yeah.
All of this to back up, like, the whole time we've spent with Arinsu in the series, she's been kind of like a good-ish character.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we know that she enslaved the third demon world. Yeah, aside from stuff like that. And then, but like, none of the empirical evidence of what we have seen of her in this show does not jive with the idea of her wanting to take over everything and overpower the outside world. And then, like, we get her little smile right here, and it's like, what character are you? Are you just trying to boast overly, kind of build yourself up? The blowfish from Breaking Bad, Doug. That's what I'm trying to say.
So she's finally overcome the thing that her people always want. Now she's like, I'm okay with it. I don't need to aspire to more. You know what? I got my boy. I'm okay.
I think it's a thing that I've noticed in Dragon Ball that they can't kill women. So they didn't make her evil
they
enough.
Killed Zangia pretty good.
Yeah.
No. The villain killed Zangia. I'm talking about heroes that can't kill women. So like they can't make her evil enough where she has to be a problem that needs to be dealt with. She just needs to be not just evil enough but still have a good character. Where at the end of the series, she's still gonna be alive and kicking and just like admitting or accepting her fate as second tier or whatever.
Although we do see Goku Black murder Bulma pretty hard. So
Again, the villains can kill women. Our heroes cannot kill women. I noticed it with Zangia when that first happened in movie 9. I'm like, that was weird. Why did Bojack kill her? Oh, because I'd be really weird for Gohan too, I guess, in their eyes. But yeah.
So what do you guys think of Vegeta awkwardly attacking Gomah's crotch?
I don't remember this.
When he's Super Saiyan, he goes like upside down. And the way that the close-up shows, it looks like he's going to throw a blast right at Gomah's crotch. And then it zooms out, and Vegeta's in a totally different placement among his torso, and it's like way higher up.
Interesting.
Just
what? Huh. Editor, put that picture up so I can see. Editor, as in Ken.
Audience will
so
see it, yeah.
You can see.
We get mid-transformation fighting, which is cool. Another thing that we've never really seen in Dragon Ball before is fighting while transforming. Mm-hmm. It's like, don't just like regurgitate the old moments. Do these fun, inventive things that we've never seen before. That's what a Wonderland is.
It should be.
Yeah, when I saw that, when I was rewatching it today, I was like, oh, he just like fended off that attack and he still has his eyebrows, but his hair is long. That's awesome.
Yeah. We get two instances of that.
But then when he reveals, he's arm crossed. Like, why? When did you were in the middle of a battle. Why did you do this? You just did it just be a cool pose?
No. So what we have seen very distinctly is how the difference between how Goku and Vegeta use Super Saiyan 3, which is kind of like opposite of them in the Super manga, as we'll get into with Granola later, is that Vegeta is very conserving energy when he's using it. He's using it the way you would want Vegeta to be using a form that it just expels stamina like this. He's controlled movements, arms crossed, no unnecessary movements, whereas Goku is just like haymaker, swinging around, doing all this like fancy flying and everything.
Like
they
monkey.
use it in very different ways. So I like that Vegeta's arms crossed and he's just very keeping it to himself.
So it's not a cool pose, it's literally conserving energy. I like that.
No, this is one of those rare things that I feel like Daima thought out.
You know what? I don't think they did. I think that's just a good result of you being very insightful. Like that's your own headcanon, but that actually makes sense with the character. They just want to like, oh, he needs to. It's a reveal, so it needs to be cool, just like Goku was in his first transformation of Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Z.
Randy, you look like you had something to say.
I'm just been trying to psychically scream 2-minute warning, but
no, forget that.
Okay.
No, we're not hearing that. No.
I like that these animators are getting used to drawing Vegeta without eyebrows. Doug, you'll find out what that means later. No?
What?
Vegeta, so he's moving in very precise movements. We get this, I think is really a sweet moment where Glorio returns back to the base camp. When I watched it, not the first time, but the second time I watched it, I welled up. And when I rewatched it before recording today, I was like, I'm not going to well up again. I welled up again.
What's you talking about? When he comes back and everyone's like, Glorio, like, giving him a hug?
Yeah, and it's because, like I said earlier, is that these people never truly believed he betrayed them, like, at all. But he's probably been living with this guilt for so long. Remember, guys, this is well thought out Glorio that we're dealing with now, not the other one.
Ken's a Glorio stan now at this point.
I'm 18 through 20 Glorio stan, yes. And Glorio comes back to camp, and so it's all of this is presented, I think, from his point of view, and him coming to terms and like being like, these people still love me and still want me in this family and everything. And then he goes to Goku, and Goku still gets his name wrong here. No, this is the part where he gets it right. And that's the part where I well up. Yeah, and it's just... And then Glorio stands next to Goku smiling, and it's like, dude, my hair on my arm is standing up. This is what I wanted from this character, from this show. What the hell were the first 17 episodes of this show?
Man. Not this.
Not doing a great job
No.
there.
This is an episode so good it makes the rest of the show dramatically worse.
Ken had to take his glasses off because he's crying too much right now. Retelling.
Yeah, dude.
Retelling
oh
is crying.
Dude, don't do me. Don't. Final Flash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm tired of Vegeta not making up new moves because that was the whole thing. Whenever we were in Z and on the original manga and then Super and then this, they're like, what if he just did the Final Flash and like, the Gallic Gun over and over again? Wouldn't that be cool?
The tried and true.
Yeah. Remember this?
At this point, I'm surprised he didn't just use Final Shine.
That's
You're
true.
right. Yeah.
The one-handed green one. Yeah. Yeah.
So again, he straight up murders Gomah. Gomah's body obliterated. We see his body like be rebuilt from this like aura thing, and then it like shatters off of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's time to consult Doug. What's that book called?
The Book of Magic Items from Archive 37.
Yes. Okay. I made a point to remember that because I'm like, I bet Senpai. That son of a
I didn't even
bitch.
think about that. So if that's a solid point for me if Senpai does.
And Vegeta refuses to let Goku tag in. Do is here, by the way, in case you guys didn't know.
Thank you for reminding me.
So Arinsu tells them that she found in this book, which Ku helped her flip through very fast, because Ku's good at that kind of stuff. Yep. Is that they gotta hit Gomah in the back of the head 3 times in a row. And my first thought is that is going to be an annoying boss fight.
Yep. 100%.
Mine is just like how uncreative this is as a way to beat your villain.
Oh, we are way past like me caring about the events that are happening. Right now, I'm way more interested in how all the characters are reacting and acting with each other. That's the golden part of the show right now. What's actually happening is kind of like trash and bad, and they should feel bad about it. Yet this is still an episode I would say for Daima standards, it's a 10 out of 10.
Dang.
But like, so for character stuff, Arinsu, she gives all this information, and then Kaioshin's like, thank you. And she's like, hey, don't get me mistaken here. We're not teaming up. But, it's like, we're already past that point with Arinsu. She's a good guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Goku offers up to be the distraction, which is pretty cool. I like this. I like plotting Goku.
Yeah.
We don't get it very often, but when we do.
I love it. Yes. His crossed
Chef
arms
kiss.
and just like, what can I do?
And Piccolo's going to lead the eye-hitting party, I guess.
Yeah. He's hiding behind a rock as if he needed to hide at all, but whatever.
But they cannot get Vegeta to stop fighting Gomah.
Mm-hmm. And Goku knows this. So he's not going to stop.
But Bulma knows how to get him to stop.
Mm-hmm. And it's the funniest dang thing I've ever seen in this show. I loved it, quite honestly.
This is the one time it was a shame I didn't watch this subtitled because I didn't know what was being said. Did you, Ken?
No, but the way it plays out, is that she threatened him with something, and then he very nervously retreats.
So when I heard what it was, I'm like, that's got to be someone just joking, like making a meme. But no, it's actually what it is, isn't it?
It sounds too good. They have a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you don't stop right now, I will never take a bath with you again.
But it's great, and I love the escalation of that. She's like, stop, and then Vegeta's like, I'm going to die trying, all right? Forget you. And then Gomah's like, well, then die.
Get in the slow camera to his face.
Yeah. This show has had a myriad of bad editing decisions, but this and the quickness and the way it jolts is so perfect.
Good. So perfect. Yeah, just exactly what it needed. Just zip, zip, zip back to the ground. Like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. He yeets the hell out of there, as the kids say.
They're in their early 20s now.
They're still saying that? Oh, geez.
No.
They can drink now? Oh, God. Goku's now leading the party, and he says that if Gomah suspects anything, he'll be on his guard. So they only have one chance. Right,
Protect
Doug.
the back of his head.
Again, Doug, what's happening here is BS. But it's the way that Goku is behaving, the way other characters are behaving, that it's like, I love that.
I love them planning.
That's why I'm able to pierce through the nothingness that is what's happening with Gomah.
I guess I just can't. I'm just like, oh my God, okay.
I love it. I love where Goku is at. I love the way he's behaving.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes into the Super Saiyan steps. We get the Kadan army shot again, third time this episode.
But I just hate how arbitrary and just like, this is obviously just fan service. This is like, I love fan service, but if you give it to me in a natural, like, oh my God, they're doing it kind of thing, as opposed to just like, haha, there's that thing. Like, I don't like that.
It's two things, Doug, because yes, it's fan service. Remember this thing that we did in the Boo arc? But that was also the thing in the Boo arc when first of all, he was, trying to stall for time, but he goes, okay, well, this is 1, and then I'm going to show you this form, and I'm naming 2 for the first time. We didn't have a name before other than grade 5 in one book before. And then goes, oh, and there's 1 more to go even further, and he transforms into 3. So he does this, gets up to 3, it's the same shots and everything, but then we get and 1 more bonus. Like, oh, dang. First off, shows that he can transform into this a second time. And it's a cheeky way of like, yeah, this is 4 because we're going 1, 2, 3. Then what comes after 3? So we're just
is he stalling for time?
Yes.
No. I mean, he's waiting for Piccolo to get in position and trying to keep...
Piccolo could do it now as he's like going through the forms like, bop, bop.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I don't think it would have necessarily been appropriate to break for this, but it would have been great if Gomah was like, I've seen this. I've studied the Boo arc, and so I really
that's
know
true.
what you're doing here.
That's true. I forgot about that.
That would be good.
This is what I was talking about earlier, when I wish Gomah would have, like, because Goku comes up after already had battling him as a kid, a Super Saiyan 3. So Gomah's like, what was that weird thing you'd like? If Gomah was like, what is that weird thing form you had? What kind of magic is that? And then Goku's like, oh, well, let me explain it to you. This is 1, boom. And then, or like he does a whole, if he does like a cool monologue, how much better that would have been than just like a rehash of the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Like, Saiyans have been through so much through these battles, and we get stronger each time. And like, as he's taking off like his shirt or whatever, and transform, something would have been cooler, that like a monologue would have been cooler than what he did.
I just like that he rips it off like Kiryu. It's classic. I wasn't expecting a Yakuza reference in this show, but okay, I'll take it. 2
shirts and a belt in one movement. That's so impressive.
Now, one of those shirts is a fold over, so I understand that. Yes. But one is you got to lift it up off your head, like Kiryu taking off his whole jacket and stuff. So doesn't really work. Don't think too hard about that. Mm-hmm. Hasn't someone already edited the Falconer version of this together?
The second I saw it, I called it out, and then literally within the same day, someone,
The only thing I saw, which was a very cool video on Reddit, you should check it out, which is from episode 18 when he transforms. They put Braveheart, the Digivolution song from Digimon, over him turning into Super Saiyan 4 for the first time. It feels really good, and then they keep the song going as like they throw the death ball and he holds it off. Like, it matches. Like, it's on A&B magic. Rhythm. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and then he falls out of the sky.
Who?
Goku. He's floating, and then he goes Super Saiyan 4. Thud. And is now crawling up over rocks.
Oh,
There's no thud, but he's just suddenly crawling.
A steep drop. We'll edit in a thud in your files.
I didn't even see him fall like that, but yeah, he ends up on the ground.
You didn't see him. He's just in the air, and all of a sudden now he's climbing up a mountain. Like, why did he descend? When did that happen?
If you're breaking the show to do this, then surely that means you're going to reference the shot.
But he doesn't stand all the way up to be 1 foot up higher.
It's
maybe they're saving it for the next episode, because what a missed opportunity if they don't. Like, that was the moment to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's almost like it was in the storyboards, but then whoever was taking care of that cut didn't understand.
And that final pose he does, I'm like, it is both kind of cool, but also horrible posing, horrible silhouette. Like, I hate that.
And why is he looking down at his hand?
Yeah,
right.
Machinations look away for real quick, but that's the pose you should have been doing.
Yeah.
Rock.
GT pose.
From the ending of Don.
Oh.
Yes, the ending of the opening.
The ending of the opening.
Is that an Ava reference?
That's our 20 minutes. I think we're done.
Yeah, it sure is. Oh, boy. So it was good for Daima standards, but also that's a low bar. Still kind of feeling that way.
I would say that, yeah.
Feels weird to be the most positive guy here. It's like watching GT all over again.
Watching GT.
It was a GT reference all along.
I love how you love character moments that can really like make me think about it and be like, oh yeah, you know what? They, as characters, cut out the story, the dumb story. Sometimes they get the characters just right, and I really appreciate that.
Seems like Yuko Kakihara should be part of a team and not be the only person writing this stuff. Just an idea. A thing I didn't bring up in episode 18, when we cut off, he transforms and, you know, they do the Eyecatch or whatever, and then we cut back and he's just like, let's go! And then they do the fight. I'm like, that was very much like Bardock special of let's go, and then cut to commercial, and then let's go, and then we put an insert song. And there was nothing. It was just the regular music. I'm like, wow, what a missed opportunity. We could have had a really sick insert song this whole little fight.
Dude, I forget that this series had insert songs and like really spiced up moments. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Zed was probably like at Coachella and couldn't make something.
Zed, don't get me started.
Well, I'm not going to get you started because we're going to take a break instead. And we're going to come back with an insert song. No, just kidding. It's going to be
That's going to cost us millions.
Too much money.
Rifti, take us away.
Take us out of here so we can come back with what you thought, and we'll be back in just a minute. And welcome back to more We Got a Podcast, but this time it's not so much us that you get to listen to, it's what you guys had to say about these 2 episodes that we watched, but we kind of kept it narrow. Ken put up the call asking, come on, just tell me what you guys thought about this new Super Saiyan 4 form over on that blue sky. So we got some hits. Ken, do you want to take this first one here from Proto Packet?
Yeah, Proto writes in and says, I haven't had the privilege of watching episode 19 yet, but a week later from episode 18, I am still really miffed we went this way. Is this celebrating the Dragon Ball 40th anniversary or the 29th of GT? I can't tell. I just wish this series committed to one set of ideas. What we have is a hodgepodge. And then Jacob Sawyer replied to that, says it's kind of a peel-off arc GT thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be very heavily borrowing from GT more so than most other things.
I forgot this was kind of supposed to be like a Dragon Ball celebration. It is just GT.
Right. It seems like maybe, I don't know, just let's redo GT.
GT was kind of a celebration of Dragon Ball. So maybe in some way.
So how many steps removed do you want to be?
Yeah, exactly.
To keep rehashing things. Be like, we'll get it better this time. I don't know. I say that. I would love a redo of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z with like, you know, Kubota heading up character designs. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Law here says, I love the design and execution. They could have done something totally different though, but it's always cool when old anime only stuff comes back in a new way. I'm of that mind too.
Don't mind it. Just you gotta. Why is it here?
Yeah, wish it was earned.
Or the tail stuck around or something, or explain why. Yeah.
I'm fine if like Neva just did something, whatever.
Nerdy Norwegian writes in and says, loved episode 18 and Super Saiyan 4. 18 is better than 19 in every way. A great callback to one of the best things from GT. With this transformation, the one thing GT has over Daima is that Baby is a more interesting villain than Gomah. Happy to see Yam's really great animation, and sucks that YouTube removed Anime AJ's videos, though. Episode 19 being, again, but as adult, episode was a slight disappointment. I really enjoyed the mini designs and prefer both Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 3 in mini forms. Looking forward to the Daima DLCs in Kakarot and Sparking Zero. Happy the eps showed both how much stronger they are as adults and how draining Super Saiyan 3 is. Overall, episode 18 might be one of my favorite Dragon Ball episodes ever. Already watched it several times, and I need merch of Mini Super Saiyan 4 now. Sad that the marketing for Daima is so far behind. We'll probably have our Super Saiyan figures and play as Mini Super Saiyan 4 after summer. Oh, yes. The figures is going to be like next year, probably.
Yeah, wasn't it like October or something ridiculous?
No, we already got the pre-order of it. I don't know when it's released, though.
Super Saiyan 4?
Well, it's not, the pre-order isn't available, but we got the announcement of it.
Yeah, because Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Mini isn't out until October.
Oh,
pre-order's
you're
already
right.
out, but that's not coming out until October, so.
Yeesh.
Yeah, buddy. It's going to be a while, but I know that we are supposed to be getting new Sparking Zero stuff soon because Pack 1 was January and Pack 2 is set to be Q1 2025. So that's in like 4 more weeks is when that's up. And there is the battle hour thing that was supposed to happen in January, but the fires in California put that on halt, which is where they were going to announce Pack 1, which then they just did. But that's coming back in March. They don't have a date yet, but I assume then they'll be like, and here's Pack 2, and it's out on Tuesday. So I know that it's supposed to have Daima stuff. We've been shown Glorio and Mini Vegeta. So we'll see how much of the Daima stuff we're going to get. Probably not 4.
No. Yeah.
But it'd be cool. Jacob Sawyer says there are cool things about how this form is presented. Glad no tail pulling was necessary. I would have liked that. I prefer the hair being black and the gold eyes, though. I would like a clearer explanation of what the form comes from. I get that it's magic, but I want a little more info. Yeah. Literally anybody saying anything other than, oh, Sugoi Kida would have been nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it's going to have to be Neva. And man, he's going to be like, oh yeah, my friend Katats, he could go Super Saiyan 4 and he taught me this. And I'll be like, why?
Katats could go Super Saiyan 4. Can you imagine a furry Namekian? I don't like it. Don't like it
Jake J. Lunar S writes in and says, for all the criticisms I have about its debut, this design itself I'm actually cool with. I really dig the red hair, and hey, this transformation doesn't include magic pants. Unfortunately, narratively, it could have been any other form. Pointy ears would have single-handedly solved this problem.
Yes. Oh my God, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We had said like, oh, we knew it was coming. You two knew what it looked like. I didn't. So I, like a couple of months ago, was like, let me just draw what I think would look cool. And it was still Mini Goku. I'm glad I got that right. But he had red Ozaru eyes, he had fangs, and he had pointy ears. But otherwise, it was still the same Super Saiyan 4 hair and, fur. My idea was better, guys. I'm just saying.
Do you have that art still?
Yeah, I have it. It's just a sketch. Okay. It's nowhere near
Here it is
finished,
on the screen, right here.
There it is. Work in progress. Yeah.
Weird choice, but okay.
He's got pants. He's 6. He's not fishing, so it's not cool. Parker Rico says, all I'm going to say is the monkey is back. Yeah, it's cool, I guess. I mean, you wrote it an exclamation in all caps, so it is pretty cool. I do guess that.
Yeah, it is really cool.
As briefly, Tony at sanji.gay writes in and says, don't care for the pants. Very succinct.
It's that elastic waistband part that just why didn't he keep the belt?
In like Superman's design, where he's got those red overpants, those also like functionally they don't serve any purpose, but visually they break up all the blue. And when you've got Goku here and he doesn't have that blue belt, it's something looks weird about it.
But when you think about how the clothing is layered, it has to go. Because otherwise he can't really, I don't know, you'd have to pull the orange shirt out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But if we play it with physics with clothes, though, like Goku during the Frieza arc, when he had like his blue shirt ripped all the way off, he still had some blue part on his waist. Like, was he wearing was the blue a onesie? Is that why it's still able to be attached from the bottom? It's weird.
Just left his
blue undershirt.
Yeah. They could have just left some there. That makes sense. We've got Woolberry here who says, Mulberry from Konzenshu Discord here. I think that the form being brought to a Toriyama written Dragon Ball product will give those who have more mixed opinions on the form will like it a bit more here, as in my opinion, it is placed in a better written context. It can be argued that this way of getting the form is a little bit unearned, as Neva just gave Goku some Super Saiyan 4 power-up juice, but I think it serves its purpose well in the context it's presented in. In terms of the look compared to GT's Super Saiyan 4, I think I have a bit more basic take in saying I like it, except for the wrists. But like I said, I think this is the narratively more satisfying Super Saiyan 4 form, and while for me it definitely isn't the best thing in Daima by a long shot, I think it will remain the face of what people think of when they think of Daima for a while. I mean, it's kind of how GT is, isn't it? When you bring up that, it's like, oh man, Super Saiyan 4 is the coolest thing.
I don't know where all this, I thought it was universal that everyone loved Super Saiyan 4. Are there Super Saiyan 4 haters out there?
No, we don't talk to those people.
Yeah.
I don't know they existed. Like, literally, the common sentiment is GT sucks, but the Super Saiyan 4 form is cool. You'll hear that everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Super Saiyan 4, the original, had such a striking design. The black hair set against the red fur, those bright yellow pants. This Super Saiyan 4 does not have that. This is all kind of all warm tones, except for his boots. Just kind of, it's all like one side of the color spectrum. Whereas GT Super Saiyan 4 was like
Had
bing, bang, boom, bada bing, you know. This doesn't have that. And then also, this new form doesn't make any sense. It just happens. Whereas it was built up. Even if there was like nonsensical elements in GT, that was... so this new Super Saiyan 4, like if people who enjoy GT and love GT are worried about it, it's not going to supplant the other one in anyone's minds.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, the GT version is always going to be around in, figures, merchandise, video games, because it's too iconic and it rules. So,
and hey, we still got one more episode left for all this to be fixed.
For us, people who are listening, you already know how it goes.
You are brief. This could be like a whole episode on its own right, but is Daima stuff going to ever sell as well as GT or Z or Super? And I think the answer is probably no. So, yeah. So what sells is what's going to be the real Super Saiyan 4, and I guess it's going to be GT. Matt writes in at Music Fighter and says, I like the gorilla arms and how the pants aren't magic anymore, though his shirt may be magic. I hope it remains exclusive to the Demon Realm because I really don't want a third Divergent sequel continuity. Well, I have some bad news for you, Matt. We are in one. We are not reconciling this with Super. I know there was a lot of wiggle room, like, well, let's see how the series goes. It's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping that it was going to this be a one and done thing, that it was from Neva giving him power and that's that. But we've got to do the Super Saiyan God thing of like, I know I was given this from somebody else, but guess what? I can do it all on my own now. Isn't that cool? Like, no, it should have just been a one time.
We got into this in the Concentrons Discord. If you guys do not subscribe to the Kanzenshu Patreon, if you do, you get free access to the Kanzenshu official Kanzenshu Discord. And we have a lot of great conversations over there. The other day, we got into kind of some heated discourse about Super and Daima not being able to connect. Now, you will never, ever hear Toei or Shueisha say that GT is not canon, Super's not canon, Daima's not canon. They will never address it that way. In fact, these things will show up in the same timelines should they ever make a new timeline. But you just have to look at the evidence in each show and be like, these cannot connect. It's just simple.
Just how it is.
There are 3 post-Boo arc timelines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Shouch is only alive in 2 of them.
That's what Heroes is for, is to address this kind of stuff. Pete, is this one me now? This is you?
No, this is all me. PD Gaming, who says, in this context, this feels like such a Dragon Ball Super transformation. No real build-up, no real story on how the transformation happens except magic from the Magic Man. No explanation of why the fur and the yellow pants. I just wish there was something that led to this being a thing rather than out of nowhere. It would have made more sense with Neva giving him, some power if the form looked more dragon-like, because, they make dragons. The Dragon Balls, that whole thing. But nope, it's like monkey fur. Why? Because we did it before. Is that a good enough reason? I don't think so.
Because Saiyans are demons. They come from the demon. Why didn't we go with this route?
I think people just need to stop manifesting Neva saying anything, because that monkey's paw is going to curl real fast. And
you don't know. You don't know.
I don't want to hear him. Gander
he's
writes
gone
in
this far.
At Super Kuririn. I was on the fence about it at first, but it's grown on me, especially after watching Anime AJ's animation breakdown. Feels like a very Toriyama style Super Saiyan 4. And I agree. And so that's why I'm curious is who is responsible for this design.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
I know
like
the way
I
you
have
say
meant
it is
in
like
previous times. I'm just curious who did it.
Who do I get to credit?
Who done?
Yeah, there we go. Who's going on the wiki?
Yeah. Marcus at Marcito says, if this leads to us seeing canon Super Saiyan 5 in the future, I think Tablos deserves some form of official recognition from Toei, if not a story credit. He's the author of The Immortal Image Above. Ken, throw that one up there. From 1998, that planted a seed in the collective consciousness of humanity.
Yeah. Super Saiyan 5, let's just do it. I mean, come on.
Right.
Might as well.
Vegeta was talking about it in 1997. What year is it? We just still don't have it.
Oh, he was in the shower with Bulma too at that time. Well, not with Bulma, but
she was
it
there.
all connects.
She was around, yeah.
Yeah.
Cosplayer OA.BSKY says, my inner child loves that we got Super Saiyan 4 and that they made it their own for Daima. However, much like Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3, I wonder if they thought this through as we never see either again all through Super. Again, divergent timelines. We are in it. It's just the sooner I think people accept that, the sooner we can be at peace about it. And it's okay for
things don't have to be canon for you to enjoy it. They just exist.
Yeah.
He's gonna antagonize Gomah, so that Gomah gets real upset, uses his magic third eye to completely rip that form out of him and existence, and that's when Piccolo hits him the third time in the back of the head.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, one of my favorite figures that I own is not canon. Kula.
All
right.
Great figure.
Oh, yeah.
Not canon.
He's still up for pre-order on Premium Bandai for his re-release later this year.
Check it out. If we had an affiliate link, we'd put one, but we don't.
I wish.
Come on.
But
talk to us.
And scrolling through here, I think that's everything we have there from Blue Sky, which is great.
Huge turnout this week.
Extremely huge turnout. And you know what? We get these in, and I want to go through them, and I don't want to put them off. But Willis DeYoung sent in some emails, and I want to go through them real quick. Willis, appreciate you. Daima episode 18 thoughts. I hope I get this email submitted in time. I already sent the Team Glorio response prior to this episode premiering. All I can say is that I'm speechless at the moment. But hey, Doug, Pink Purunga SH Figure Arts exclusive, $500. Let's go.
500, 300 maybe. 500? That's not enough.
Look, red costs a lot of money.
Yeah, and you have to think about inflation. And he's going to be a convention exclusive.
They go down and if it's an exclusive, I'm screwed because they don't go down in price. But if it was a regular release, the Purunga regular one you can get now for like $250, $220. Ken bought it for under $200, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. I love that.
In all seriousness, regardless if it was Toriyama or not taking the Dragonverse as we know it and completely smashing it as we know it, this is the first time I've felt real tension in a Dragon Ball fight in a long time. I appreciate everything you guys do, Willis. So
thank you.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, Willis. So much so that I'm going to read these other two emails. Bonus figure trivia for Doug round 2. No, you know
Bogus.
what? We've got real trivia to do. And this is all going to be good. This is too much good stuff for that I got to save for later. So, Willis, we're going to do that figure trivia another time.
I was ready to win for a change.
Yeah. Now Doug has to go study up. So that he'll
I don't need to. It's all up here, baby.
You got to bust out that Toyotaro Ultra Instinct figure book.
Because these questions,
one thing I'm good at.
These questions are going to be about AB Toys Super Guerrieros figures.
No.
And you don't know about those. Do you know what country they come from?
No. If they're SH Figure Arts and Ichiban Kujis, then I got it nailed down. But everything else.
Spoilers, Europe. Comes from Europe.
Spoilers, Europe. Is
Spoilers is the answer.
I want that tattooed on me somewhere. Spoilers, Europe.
Before anyone says, I know Europe is not a country. Okay.
We'll do official certified trivia from the one and only trivia deity, Zenpai, this time. So sorry, Doug, you don't get the advantage, but study up.
Fine.
So, all right. Question 1. What did Goku lose as he transformed into a Super Saiyan 3? And this is for Daima.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Nyoibo.
Oh, yeah, it was.
And I should say that after he gets the Super Saiyan 4 taken away from him, there is one shot where they accidentally draw the Nyoibo back on him.
Whoa.
No
Oops.
But you know what? I didn't dwell on it because I was having fun with this episode.
They'll fix that for the Blu-rays. Question 2. Besides being red, what is the difference between Demon World Purunga and Namek Purunga?
He can only do one wish.
It's true. I think he's looking for visual.
Oh, he's got like
physical.
Blue accents.
Well, he had those same lines on Namek.
But on Namek, they were red.
That's true.
You mean
Point
like
is, that's not what he wrote. He wrote, Demon World Purunga's tail is much longer. I think that depends on the shot.
We never see it end.
I mean, yeah. Look at movie Shenlong versus Piccolo just killed him, Shenlong.
What a beast.
Question 3. After Pansy's hug, which person is the first one to talk to Glorio?
It's Kaioshin?
Doug?
I don't know. Bulma?
No, because Ken had it right. Kaioshin / Shin.
Why do you ask me for my opinion, Randy? Why?
Because that way you at least get the
like
point.
An idiot because you want me to say, "Hey, Doug, trivia, psych, nothing for you." I love you.
He takes away your figure trivia, and then he makes you lose this
first
one.
you take. Doug, want to chime in?
We can edit out that thing where I was reading about the email and then decided to change my mind. Last question: how many?
Too ingrained.
All right. Last question: how many pages of her magic book does Arinsu turn before Ku steps in to help?
Oh, I was close with thinking about the book. How many pages? 5?
3.
Just 3? Dang, did Ken count?
Ken can count.
Dang.
That we see.
So how many pages did Ku go through? Answer me that.
482.
Damn it, he got it.
That's true. I looked it up.
Dang it. It's in the wiki.
I looked it up on the Wikipedia. So that's it. That's our episode. Goodness. Right. Action-packed. And you know what? I'm sure we'll have more to talk about next time because you, the listener, already know how this whole thing ends.
The finale.
You're living in the future. Yeah, buddy.
As Crunchyroll puts it, right? It was them that leaked it. This is the finale.
Hulu.
So they're at fault, and they're never going to get Dragon Ball ever again. That's how it's going to go. So thank you all for listening. We love interacting with you, talking about our favorite franchise in the world. You can post at us on our Blue Sky. Keep it easy at wegotapodcast.com over there. And of course, you can email us at wegotapod@gmail.com.
And thank you to Rifti Beats for letting us use this track, Kakarot Theme Hip Hop Trap Remix. You can find that and other great music by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Ken, where can the people find you?
You can find me at detectivex.bsky.social.
And Randy?
You can find me pretty easily as well. You can catch me at saberbreaker.wegotapodcast.com over on Blue Sky. Doug, what about you?
And besides the Magic Book of Items in Archive 37, you can find me at Jabaz Doug.
Really surprised that wasn't a Zenpai question. Just as I'm really surprised that, listener, you're still here with us. This has been a long one. But we always appreciate you sticking it out. And if you have been enjoying this show enough to stick it out like this, tell your friends, you know?
Yeah.
Why haven't you told your friends? Really think yourself, sit yourself down and ask yourself, why haven't you told your friends?
Don't make them think about it because they'll find a reason. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's why I didn't.
The #1 Dragon Ball podcast for moms. Why aren't you telling your friends? I mean, come on.
That is true.
We're here. Who else out there is going to get into the nitty gritty like this about this kind of stuff as we are? You know, who else out there watched GT recently? Well, I guess Team 4-Star and Lance. So, well, anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And we will catch you, Montanator.
Bye. Cheers.